What's up, guys? Theo here doing a quick prediction for Mateus Mendonca versus Jesus Aguilar. So right now, Mendonca is a minus 120 favorite. The comeback on Jesus Aguilar is plus 100 on DraftKings. Guys, I took a 0.25 unit shot on Jesus Aguilar here. He's a fighter that I have liked for quite a bit of time. Since I saw him fight Tatsuro Taira, I actually quite liked the guy based on his tape before that, and I thought he had a pretty good chance at upsetting Taira, but ended up not being the case. You know, he caught Taira in a very, very, very good guillotine in the very beginning of the fight. First thing that happened, Taira managed to out-wrestle him and turn it around and submit him. There's not really much shame in a loss to Tatsuro Taira, guys. Taira is incredible on the ground, and honestly, the fact that Jesus Aguilar was able to get him in such a tight guillotine and almost sub him there, people aren't really giving Jesus Aguilar enough credit for that performance because he lost quickly. But, you know, I've said this before about different breakdowns. I was in discords with people that had thousands of dollars on that fight on Taira, and they were sitting there sweating, talking about, why did I make this bet? And I'm talking about people that sell picks. I don't sell any picks. And I had a hedge on Jesus Aguilar at plus 700 in that fight. So, I mean, even though I had picked Tatsuro Taira to win the fight, I thought people were ridiculous for thinking that he should be a plus 700 against that guy. And again, why should he be an underdog against Mateus Mendonca when we really haven't seen much good from Mateus so far? You know, he looked pretty bad in that fight against Nate Maness, got finished in the first round. Before that, he lost to one of the Basharat bros. I can't quite remember who it was off the top of my head. Not really any shame in that loss, you know what I mean? But I just don't rate him as highly as other people do. I remember in the Nate Maness fight, going into that, people were very high on him. A lot of people were saying he was going to like finish Nate Maness there. A lot of very sharp people were picking him, and he just ended up completely dropping the ball. Honestly, this fight comes down to kind of a gut feeling I have. I just have something about Jesus Aguilar that I like, and there's just something about Mateus Mendonca that I don't like. And you're talking about a guy, this is going to be in Mexico. The Brazilians aren't exactly known to do very well when they go to like other parts of the world, especially somewhere like this. You know, Mexico, it's not a forgiving place for people to fight. So I like Jesus Aguilar here. I think he's underrated. I don't think he should be an underdog. Yeah, guys, 0.25 units in the Bet MMA tips. Keep it locked in. I don't have tons of picks coming for this card this week, to be honest. We had kind of a bum week last week. And you know what? There's just not really a lot of fights on this card that I like. I know that sounds crazy to people because it is a really stacked card, but I kind of prefer fights where there's things at stake or things to learn about people, and I feel like there's not a lot of that on this card. I feel like there's a lot of kind of iffy prospects pitted against each other, which I'm not super excited to see two iffy prospects really duke it out. And then we have a bunch of already established UFC fighters where if they win or if they lose, there's not really anything at stake for them other than divisional placement. But these are guys we've seen run it back before. A lot of these fights just aren't particularly super interesting to me outside of as a fan, but as a bettor, or, you know, someone who wants to see what's happening in the future of the UFC, I just don't have a ton of interest in what is actually a very stacked card here. So people might think that's weird, but yeah, there's only a couple spots I really like on here. So keep it locked in. A couple more picks coming later this week.